Good day, everyone. So now we will continue the idea of reflected appraisal. So I will be giving you an example about reflected appraisal. Again, for example, if I based my self schema on the reactions I received from others, if it is a good appraisal, I would be very happy. How about if they're giving me negative self appraisal? So again, naturally, it affected us, especially if it's negative. It is the social judgment, and it affected our self-concept. How do we see ourselves? And there's also this one study, a study of married couples with one child, examined the relative influence of self-appraisal and partner's appraisal on the two types of behavior. So again, they study about the two types of behavior. The caregiving is traditionally it's for the female, right? And the breadwinning is for the male. So they conducted a study about these two types of behaviors. So the hypothesis was that self-appraisal would be more influential for gender consistent behavior, whereas partner's appraisal would be more influential for non-congruent behavior. Thus, the appraisal of those presumed to be more knowledgeable about the role were more important. So, let's translate it in Bisaya. Okay, so they conducted a study, nagtuon sila, tinuod ba nga ang self-appraisal o ang partner's appraisal naa ba siya relative influence. So according to their study, ang self-appraisal daw is more influential if pareho mog batasan. Gender consistent behavior like si mommy ug si daddy, si mama ug si papa, kung grabe sila ka mga hardworking, like they provide a lot for the family, like the breadwinning, og ang si papa po more on caregiving. So gendered consistent behavior ang self-appraisal. Whereas partner's appraisal would be more influential kung naglahi-lahi mo behavior, diha na musod ang influence ni partner's appraisal. Pero if you are in this on the same page, okay ra si self-appraisal. Pero if you have non-congruent behavior, diha ang influence ni partner's appraisal. So again, if pareho mong behavior, self-appraisal is very influential. Pero kung di mo pareha og behavior, partner's appraisal would be more influential. So magdepende jud na kuno sa role nga imong gi-play. If mas grabe si mama mohatag og caregiving, then si papa pod. Pero kung lahi-lahi silag style, mana diha ang ang partner's appraisal depende sa partner jud unsay mo labaw. Typically, a person's self-ratings are related more closely to his or her perceived ratings by others than to the actual rating by others. So again, you try to reflect. Kato ganina, I've discussed earlier nga influence. There is an influence between the self-appraisal and the partner's appraisal. Self-appraisal would be more influential if you are on the same page, like gender consistent behavior, while partner's appraisal is more influential when you have non-congruent behavior, lahi-lahi mo. Diba usahay itong mga mag-away silang style of loving their showing their love to their kids. So magdepende sa partner's appraisal. So kung walay difference, consistent siya, they are very loving, very caring, they are good providers. So self-appraisal is good. But if there is non-congruent behavior, partner's appraisal will be more influential. So also a person's self-ratings are related more closely to his or her perceived ratings by others to the actual ratings by others. So magdepende jud ay no ang self-rating, when you do self-rating about yourself, It is more closely related to how you see yourself. Dili kay how others see you. So when you do self-rating, it should be your own perceived ratings. Why is this so? First, others rarely provide full, honest feedback about the reaction to us. Why we should have our own self-rating that is perceived by us. Number one, other people do not really give you full, honest feedback. Sometimes they do sugarcoating, they don't tell us the truth. So if you don't have your own self-rating, you may be persuaded. Second, the feedback we do receive is often inconsistent and even contradictory. So in short, their feedback is very inconsistent and it makes you confused and even it is against the way you see yourselves. Third, the feedback is frequently ambiguous or difficult to interpret. So when they give feedback, it's very unclear and it's difficult to interpret. Mingon sila, maldita ko. How did you know that I am maldita? Wala lang, feel lang na ako. So it's hard. It's hard. What is your basis when you tell me that I am maldita? Maldita kag now. When people say that I am maldita kong now, ingon ko I cannot do anything about it. It is God's gift. But when they learn to talk to me, to make friends with me, nabuutan mo ka. So again, uh, sometimes they give you very unclear and difficult to interpret. But if you have that your own perceived ratings, you would be fine. So again, it may be in the form of gestures, facial expressions, or remarks that can be understood in many different ways. So people are giving you a lot of facial expressions, gestures, and it's very hard to interpret. For these reasons, we may know little about others, correct? There are actual reactions to us. We know very little about others, but we know ourselves well. So instead, we must rely on our perceptions of others' reactions to construct our self-concept. So we need to rely on our own perception of others' reactions to construct our self-concept. So again, we have our own perceptions towards other person. So we need to have that perception to have a good self-concept about us. So we shouldn't rely on the ratings of others to the actual ratings by others because again we also encounter a lot of misconception, a lot of social judgment that is very contradictory to how do we understand ourselves. So it's very tricky. So another thing that we should also need to discover is the identity on multiracial heritage. So social identity based on racial heritage is a significant component of self-schema. So your racial heritage, it is a significant component of self-schema. So according to the reflected appraisal meaning we based our self-schema, our self-concept based on the feedback from others. So when they say good things about us, we incorporate that to our self-schema, reflected appraisal. But the downside is if we keep on incorporating negative feedback from others, it also affected our self-appraisal. So let's be careful on how to incorporate things within ourselves. So according to the reflected appraisal model, it is perceived reaction of others that influence self-perception, identity, and multiracial heritage. Other people are judging us based on our racial identity. For example, if you are a Filipina, they are also giving a reflected appraisal of you as a Filipina. And the racial identity of some persons seems obvious. So that is their skin color, their physical features fit the social stereotype like for but the racial identity of others is not obvious. But how about others whose racial identity is not very obvious? So people with ambiguous appearance are frequently asked, who are you? So people are asking if your racial identity is not very obvious, it's very unclear. So they will ask you, who are you? Where do you live? What is your identity? So again, it also influences our own self-perception. So another thing is the situated self. So again, we also have the role identity, the social identity. We also have the situated self. The situated self is the subset of self-concept chosen for from our identities, qualities, and self-evaluation that constitute the self we know in a particular situation. So again, because of our ability to adapt, we also have the ability to situate ourselves to any circumstances, to fit in. So our self concept, most likely to enter the situated self are those distinctive to the setting and relevant to the ongoing activities. For example, if you are new to that, you try to fit in, you try to situate yourself to that setting because that is very new to you. You don't know anything. So consider a black woman for whom being black and being a woman are both important self-concept, right? For example, I am a black woman and then I am a woman. So these are all important self-concept. Similarly, whether gender is part of your situated self depends in part on the gender composition of others present. So, for example, I am a woman, so I need to blend to situate myself to the group of women. I am black, I need to situate myself to a black women. So again, whether your gender is part of your situated self depends on in part of the gender composition of others present. So at times we need to situate ourselves to another group to blend, to to be part of the group or the gender composition. So again, our activities also determine the self-concept that constitute the situated self. The self we experience in our imaginings and our interactions is always situated because setting characteristic and activity requirements prime or make distinctive and relative particular self concept. So again, everything we do, we always try to situate ourselves to that. I am teaching now, so I need to situate myself to the academic community. I need to blend in, I need to interact because again, I am part and I need to change my self concept that I am now part of the academic setting. So it depends on the group that you belong, how you situate yourself. It also depends on the characteristic and the requirements for us to feel the sense of the situated self. So I hope you are learning today. This is our lesson 2. This is the self you know, yourself we know. It's very difficult to situate ourselves to any situation, to adapt to a role identity, to adapt to a social identity, to be a good person, to be a well-rounded person, just to showcase the things that we know, the things that I know about myself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are learning today. I hope you are getting something out of this very quick discussion. Thank you so much for listening and God bless. Bye.